Hey guys, I'm back here again. Got another quick video here for you today on Wednesday. We finally got the lawn tractor here ready to go back to the customer here. The only problem is while it was sitting over here in our garage, the guy's right rear tire was going flat, and he failed to disclose that fact to us, and that's the only thing I'm basically waiting on right now. I have my tire guy. He's a professional tire changer and everything else like that in my area here, and he takes care of all of my tire stuff that I need to have done. If you got like a flat tire, if there's something wrong on the rim or something else like that, we have a guy we have on retainer that we sub all our work out for the actual tire itself, because we don't have tire machines over here to do anything else like that, so we have to have somebody else do it for that. So we find some guy that can actually do that work. So machine should be ready to go this afternoon over here for that. So got the deck all put back on the machine. We got a new belt on here as well too, and it's ready to go right now. We did thoroughly test run it over here. This is a genuine you want to call Poulan AYP belt we stuck on here. So the belt should be good to go for the customer. It has like a purple blue color. I'm partially colorblind, so I'm just basically telling you what I think it looks like, but it looks like it's like a bluish purple color. But the belts he had on here, here's the belts he actually gave me. He gave me this belt right here, 8, 10. I have never heard of this brand at all. Problem is the belt material is a bit thin on here, to say the least. If you compare it to the original belt that we have right here from the factory, the material looks like it's a little bit thinner than the other belt on here for that. So when you're comparing the new OEM belt and you compare this knockoff belt right here, the material is noticeably thinner on here for that, and that's going to cause a problem right there, because the belt's going to be slipping and it's not going to be engaging and disengaging correctly. That's one reason why I don't recommend using aftermarket parts, because more than likely the parts will not made up correctly, and there is a problem where they actually fit on it right. You might have a problem where the belt might be too short or it might be too long, and that's another reason why I don't recommend aftermarket, Chinese junk out there for that. The blades, like I said before in a previous video, we did have to replace the blades. This is the one blade that was actually still in relatively okay shape. The only problem was it was developing a crack in the upper portion right here, where the actual wing, the lift portion is right here. You can't really see it, but it's definitely there. It's starting to develop a slight crack right on there. The other blade, it was already damaged as well too. It already had a crack in it already. I think I showed you that in the last video here. The crack, it was cracked right there. Somebody really did a really bang up job on that blade right there for that, where they were actually sharpening it the last time, and it was just totally screwed up the job. The other side here, you can see the crack. They always develop these cracks right in here where the actual tang lift area is right here. So if you have a blade and you're working on out there, do not sharpen a blade that has this kind of crack in it, guys, because the blade's already shot and it's too old. And there are belts we had on the job here. The guy told me he put at least 2 belts on a job. I think it's either him or his brother or something like that in his family was doing the job for him, and they were putting the belts on here. And this is what happens when you put belts that are not the correct size, length, or type out there for that. The belt was just basically totally disintegrated right here for it. It looks like all burned up on here. That's the one belt. And the second belt we have right here is a belt I had in a previous video as well too. This is the belt that he had on the machine when we picked the job up at his house. And as you see right here, the belt was basically getting cut up on here. So somebody did not put the belt on correctly. So it's getting all tore up on here. I'm thinking it was contacting the 2 pieces on the deck that actually guide the belt and keep the belt in proper alignment, because you got to put the belt on correctly, and if you don't do that, the belt will not engage and function correctly on the machine, and you'll develop severe wear in a matter of seconds on the actual belt's inner core V portion right here as well too. So that's why I always recommend using OEM parts on a job, because 99% of the time they will guarantee to fit and function perfectly fine. And the aftermarket parts will not do that in most cases out there for that. And the good thing about these Sears types of machines out here is they have the basic part numbers and stuff like that. It's clearly listed on the actual inner portion of your. Let me show you here on our side. Sorry about that. Let me flip it around here. You got your rectangular plate right here, or we'll call badge or tag right here. It's always on the inside right hand piece right here. So you have an older machine that had a Sears, genuine Sears machine. You always have your good old description and items you need for basic maintenance and stuff like that. You got your blades, grind belt, primary motor belt, air filter, pre-filter, spark plug, fuel filter, keys, battery, what type of battery you got in it, and oil capacity as well too, because there's a lot of people out there who would like put too little oil in their engine, or they might severely overfill as well too. So it's always a good idea to go back to your information tag on your machine if you have a Sears AYP type of Poulan machine out there for that, because Sears, AYP, and Poulan, they all have the same manufacturer out there for that. So it's always a good idea to check your tag for all your information that's critical to the basics of your machine. So we'll go ahead and fire up the machine here. We'll do a test of the deck on here to make sure the deck's functioning. So we'll do that right now. We did run around our yard over here to make sure it's functional, and it cut grass okay. Then it had a little bit of a what I'll call vibrating on the deck, but I'm not really concerned about that. So the engine is still surging a little bit, and it does not want to idle on low speed as well too. We told the customer about that. They are aware of it. They did not want to do anything about it. They just didn't want to spend the money to have the carb and the total fuel system cleaned out, rebuilt, or a new carb put on a job. So we're not responsible or liable for that problem if it becomes worse in the future. And it's still surging out there. They don't want that done. Try it out here for the drive. There we go for a second. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, there we go. And we're going. I'll take it over here in the flat boards and try the deck out. Yeah, it's still surging. Now they don't want nothing done about that, so we won't do anything. So put it in park, and we'll gun it up. And we'll put the deck down to about, I'd say about number 4 on the side right there. Put it on number 4, and we'll go engage the deck. And it works good, no problem. Good to go. Shut it off. We'll put it back up the top, right on top. Good to go. And we'll take it all the way down to the bottom. All the way down to number 1. Try that. Okay, good to go. So it passed all the tests with flying colors, so we'll go ahead and shut it off. So the machine's running good, no problem. We always recommend checking the actual deck, function test. Put it on high, medium, and low on there as well too, because if you don't, 9 times out of 10, it'll still function okay. However, some belts out there, if you have a shorter belt, it may be grabbing too much on the decks, the actual drive portion on there, and a longer belt might take too long to engage and disengage on a machine as well too. So always check it on 3 different settings: low, medium, and high. They typically have your settings on the side right here for that. So you can put it number 6, and put it number 4, and put it all the way down on number 1 right there as well to do a function test and make sure the deck is engaging and disengaging correctly and easily on a machine. Because you don't want to have a belt that's too short and it's grabbing the entire time, or it's basically slipping a teeny bit whenever you're engaging out there for that, or if you have a belt that's too loose on there and you got the engagement arm all the way up to the top here and it does not want to engage whatsoever out there for that. So you have to verify everything's working fine before you give it back to the customer, or if you're doing it yourself, you need to verify it's working correctly for that. So anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, feel free to drop me a message here and I'll try to get back as soon as possible. I'll see you.